Hello everyone, it's Dawn here from Dawn's Inspirations. I just wanted to share another quick mini album with you. This is a nice quick mini album that you can make just out of one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock and add your own embellishments and flaps and pockets to it. So it's a nice quick mini album, so I thought I'd share this one with you. I made this with my husband a couple of Father's Day ago now, a couple of years back, and that's why it's got quite a masculine look. For this album I've used a piece of craft cardstock, 12 by 12, so you can use cardstock to make this album or some double-sided pattern paper. The choice is entirely up to you. So I've made this out of the cardstock. And what I've done to use all these little embellishments, because it was a small album, this measures 6 by 4, what I went ahead and did was, you know, often on the back of some of your 12 by 12 pads, you get the back page like this that shows some of the elements that are in the book. I've used the back sheet, the dust cover of the actual paper pad collection. This was the Resist paper pad collection. I used the back sheet of the dust, like the dust cover of the paper pack, and the front sheet that's already gone. So don't throw away your dust sheets for your paper packs if you buy them like that, because they can come in very useful, and also the sizing is perfect for when you're doing mini books, etc. So that's where these little elements have come off, if anybody's wondering. I've used some little brads here as well. These are little key and keyhole brads that I've used, and then I've just stamped this little clock out of some craft cardstock and cut that out and stuck that on. I've used twine here for this mini album, as it was for a man, to make it a bit more masculine. The album opens up as a normal book. I've added another little pocket here, again using the dust cover of the paper stock that I was using at the time. So that's where this element's come from. I've then just made a tag out of some craft card that I wrote my little element on. Used some of my stamps just to say that time flies. These are all elements off the dust sheet as well. And then the album this side, it looks like it's got lots of layers. Well, it's actually all concertinas out on itself. So this is just a piece of the Resist cardstock that I've used here. This opens up. The words I've used the Kaiser Craft rub-ons for in here, and then here's a little pocket to add photographs to it, and then this opens up again, more photo mats. I mean, you can cut down 6 by 4 photos to put in this album. These little ones that I've used in here have been used on the Picasso Photoshop on Picasso Photoshop anyway, and this is the smaller size that you can cut out on Picasso, so I've used those to get more photos in. But you can, as I say, get 6 by 4 photo mats on here. That takes you through to the back cover, but you could also then can fold it this way. So there again, using some of the elements off the dust sheet, made little pockets to put photographs. Another big photo mat there, but I've put 2 smaller ones on, and then 2 more big photo mats here, but again I've used smaller ones and some of the bits off the dust covers. So there's plenty of room for pictures. I mean, if you wanted to cut down 6 by 4, it would take, let me just show you in camera shot here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would take 10 6 by 4 photos that you could trim down without even touching the front and back cover as well. Okay, so it's a nice little mini, as I say, just made out of one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock or pattern paper. So today, to show you, I'm just going to use some double-sided pattern paper. Purely this has got plain one side and a pattern on the other, just to show you for the camera purposes, because I thought if I used a plain cardstock it might not show up very well on camera anyway. So first of all, we're going to cut this down into 3 strips of 12 by 4. So with your paper trimmer you need to cut those down 12 by 4. Let's measure this up. It doesn't matter the make of your double-sided pattern paper. You could use any really. I mean, obviously the thicker brands work better, but even the slimmer, this is quite a thin one I'm using here today, and it works just as well. but it's a perfect little mini to give away as a gift or to add a few photos. I'm now going to use my scoreboard. So I'm going to get the first sheet and we're going to score this at 6 inches. Now I like to score my papers both sides purely because I find then the paper doesn't crack. So that's going to be the front cover. Okay, so open that up, that's your front cover there. Okay, so put that to one side. And the next one we're going to score at 1 inch and 7 inches. Flip it over again. I'm not going to fold that at the moment till we start to put the book together, so just lay it flat in front of you on top of your front cover. The next one we're going to score at 2.5, 6.5 and 9.5. Flip it over again and do the same on the other side. So that's your 3 pieces of paper. So we've got the cover there that's scored in half at the 6 inches. We're now going to take the piece that we had a score mark at 1 inch and then again at 7 inches. And with this we're going to, I think I'm going to do it, yeah, we'll do it this way. I'm going to turn it over so my paper matches, because I'm going to fold this over at the 1 inch mark, and this is going to be glued onto this front cover here, and by gluing it that way around, I mean, yes, you've got a join there, but it doesn't show as much. So once you've stuck a photograph on top of there, you won't see that join. So that's my 1 inch score mark. So today I'm going to use a tape runner for quickness rather than wet glue. You know, I'm a fan of the wet glue to give you wiggle room, but I'll just use a tape runner today. So I'm going to pop it onto the score line there. Get that nicely butted up. Make sure it's level, and then just flip that over and press that down. Okay, so that's your first page joined. Now this one then is scored at 7, so we're going to fold this back on itself. Run your bone folder down there. So now your book is then looking like this. So you've got your 1 inch stuck down, 7 inches folded in on itself. And then there again, as you can see, I've used a pattern paper that's different on both sides, but it still flows quite nicely. Then we're going to get the next sheet, and we need to fold the 2.5 inch side down. Now look at your patterns to how you want to fold this across. I'm just having a quick look at my reference here in my book to see how we're going to do this. That's why I'm just turning my papers. Yes, I'm going to turn my paper over. So this was my 2.5 inches in. I'm just going to turn that because I'm going to join it up with this pattern here so it matches. And then also when we flip over that way, that matches as well. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that over on itself. Put some tape down here as well. And I'm going to butt that up to there. So that's your 2.5 piece attached. We're then going to fold the next score line, which was 6.5, back on itself. So that's going to fold there. So use your bone folder and just burnish that one down. And then the last one at 9.5 is going to come back on itself again. So there you go, there's your mini album. That's how quick it is to make the basic album. Okay, so when you open it up, you've got your big sheet there. I mean, I added a pocket. It's entirely up to you what you do. You can put a pocket at the bottom, you can put a pocket at the side. You could just go ahead and put a 6x4 photograph on there. It's entirely your choice. I'm just giving you the basics of the album and I want you then to run with it. This is your first flap. If that was me, I would round the corners off so it gives the reader the element of you pulling it out. So that's your first flap. So you've got photo mats here, here and here, and here and here. And then obviously you open it out the other way and you've got all these photo opportunities as well. So that's how you make your basic album. So quick and easy to do out of one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. So please have a go and make one. I mean, as you can see from mine, I did add lots of little pockets and elements to it, but that's the basic album. Now you can go away, make your own and add your own little twists and embellishments on it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations. Thank you very much for watching. I'd love to have your feedback. You can get hold of me on Facebook at Dawn's Inspirations, or if you want to check out my website, www.dawnsinspirations.com, you can always leave me a comment there. And if you'd also like to check out the website, I'll also put the video link on there and also the measurements to make the book as well. So if you wanted any follow-up measurements for the book, I'll pop them on my website. So thank you very much for watching. I'd love to have your feedback and enjoy making the mini book out of one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. Thanks for watching. Bye.